Like 12-year-old girls should be ready to have a transgender man as a woman in the shower, and if they see his genitals, they shouldn't get upset. I don't think that's reasonable.
I do, actually, because, you know, people want to start segregating sex. And from what I've seen,
well, I mean, I don't think the average women particularly want to be around a bunch of around a bunch of schlongs.
Yes and no.
I always think it's quite interesting when Alex Jones comes across as the reasonable one in the conversation. My name is Rag Reynolds and welcome back to Medium Rare, and today we are talking about the very concerning subject of Jessica Yaniv. So the other day, Blaire White, popular transgender YouTuber, uploaded a video titled Exposing Jessica Yaniv, Trans Predator. And essentially in this video, Blaire goes on to talk about Jessica Yaniv and her concerns and issues with Jessica, and essentially breaks down certain predatory behaviours that Jessica has exhibited. And Blaire even goes on to talk about how she believes that Jessica Yaniv is not even really a trans person, but rather just a man who is a predator and is pretending to be a trans person to try and get away with some of these predatory behaviours.
Here's my frustration with this, is I'm going to get called transphobic for even thinking of calling this person a he, but I do not believe this is a trans woman. I believe this is a predator posing as a trans woman.
Blaire tries to make it clear in her video that her intention with the video and the reason she made it is because she sees so many people across social media who are not saying anything at all simply because this is a trans person who is a predator. And because obviously people don't want to start associating transgender people with predators. But in Blaire's mind, the silence on this subject and people not speaking out against Jessica Yaniv is actually doing more harm than good to the trans movement, because when people who are bigoted against trans people in the first place, people who think of trans or LGBT people as predators or creepy or whatever, when they see someone like Jessica Yaniv, that is going to confirm their biases. That's going to confirm those bigoted views they already had.
Now this is every meme about people just identifying as a woman and being able to enter women's bathrooms and taking pictures of young girls.
So Blaire made her video and tries to rally people around against Jessica and tries to say that this is not someone we want to be representing trans people. Now, one of the big things that Blaire did talk about, you might have heard elsewhere, was that Jessica Yaniv was responsible for a salon that had to close down, and it was all because Jessica Yaniv went to this salon and tried to get waxed. But Jessica has male private parts, so this women's salon refused to wax Jessica. So Jessica then filed complaints, and eventually, with the help of rallying people on social media, she got the salon closed down. And in Blaire's video, she alleges that Jessica has actually tried this with numerous other salons and has filed numerous other complaints. So now I want to cover some of the other specific allegations that Blaire talks about and says that Yaniv is guilty of.
Yaniv allegedly consistently messages young girls, underage girls, on Facebook and on social media, asking them incredibly inappropriate, invasive questions. So at the gym, do girls bare all? Do you see tits and pussy ever? Have you ever seen a tampon string hanging out of another girl's thing? If there's 30 girls in the change room, how many of them would you say are out there changing freely with their vaginas and tits out? Would I go into the stall with her and help her? That sounds so weird. Is it weird to ask a 10 to 12-year-old girl for a pad or a tampon?
Now, that's not all of the messages that Blaire read out in her video, so if you want to see all of what she had to say there, then go check her video out. I will link it in the description down below. But essentially the gist here is that Yaniv allegedly sent all of these messages to underage girls on Facebook, and this is a very concerning pattern of behaviour. Blaire says that Yaniv has apparently stated things over Facebook Messenger to underage girls, saying stuff like, "I think I'm starting my period," when obviously Yaniv can't get a period because Yaniv does not have the female reproductive system. Yaniv has a penis.
Because Yaniv believes that they can actually get their period. Stating things over Messenger to girls saying, "I think I'm starting my period soon."
Another point Blaire makes is that Yaniv constantly on Twitter constantly ask people, how old are you? And Blaire says that this indicates that this is someone who is used to speaking to minors, because most people online don't go around asking people, how old are you, in every single encounter they have with people. Blaire also claims that Yaniv is being a creep when they quote tweeted this tweet that says, "Judge rules girls have no right to visual body privacy from boys as long as they're not being touched." And Yaniv quote tweeted this saying, "Yes, yes, yes, LGBT rights, hashtag LGBTQ." And Blaire is very, very critical of this, and rightfully so, because this is nothing about LGBT rights. This is just bizarre that anyone would be happy that a girl does not have privacy relating to their own body. Now, one of the most concerning things that Blaire talks about in her video is this here, which is apparently some event that Yaniv is organising, and it's a topless swimming event for children. Now, this is very strange and concerning in the first place, but what's even more concerning is it specifically says down the bottom that parents and caretakers will be prohibited from being there. The only person that's going to be there who's an adult is Yaniv. This is insanely concerning, insanely creepy. This is straight up predatory behaviour. Why on earth would anyone want to organise a topless swimming event for children? That is insanity. Absolute insanity, and it is disgusting. Anyway, Blaire spends pretty much the rest of the video talking about how this will negatively affect the trans community.
All these people who have these preconceived negative connotations of trans people, right? And their beliefs are getting reinforced because this person is out there. And, you know, it shouldn't be. One person shouldn't taint an entire community. But when an entire community refuses to condemn someone or something or speak about it at all, how can you blame them?
But overall, my thoughts here is this is disgusting. This is true predator behaviour from everything I've seen. I mean, I know that some of these things are maybe disputable. Like, for example, the messages that were being sent that I saw earlier, I've not found out if those messages are exactly what Blaire claims or not. I am taking Blaire's word for this video. But outside of that, I've not seen the source material. I cannot say for 100% fact that Yaniv did send those Facebook messages to minors. But the topless swimming event, that one is indefensible, and that one is a 100% fact. Plus that tweet as well, where Yaniv is celebrating the fact that girls are ruled to not have visual privacy in their bodies. It is mind-boggling that Yaniv is openly supporting this stuff. I would also like to briefly touch on something else Blaire mentioned in her video, and it was about Jessica Yaniv's Twitter profile. See, Jessica has 146,000 followers, yet it's quite clear that these followers have probably been bought, considering their posts get almost no interaction. I mean, you look here, it's a quote tweet and they've just said bingo, 640 replies, 1 retweet, 10 likes. This one, 52 replies and 1 like. This one here, 1 like, 24 replies, 15 replies, 1 like, 8 replies, 1 like, 8 replies, 1 like, 6 replies, 1 like. These are not the numbers that you would see on an account that genuinely has 140,000 followers. These are quite clearly fake followers. Anyway, this whole situation is very concerning, and I'm very, very glad that Blaire White has brought attention to this. I think it was very, very necessary. Personally, I had not even heard of Jessica Yaniv, but I'm sure many, many people had. And it is just frightening, and it's horrible to think that there are predators out there who are using, for example, the trans guys as a way to prey on underage people and just to act like a complete piece of crap. It really does make the movement go back many, many steps, because people like Jessica are ruining the public opinion on trans people. If there's someone who's on the fence about transgenderism, they're not quite understanding it, they're a bit in the middle. If the example of trans people they then see in the news is Jessica Yaniv, who's going around preying on young kids, who is going around organising topless swimming events for young kids, then yeah, this person who's on the fence, they're probably going to go back on that side of the fence and be quite against trans people, quite bigoted against them. People like Jessica they have hugely negative impacts on the trans community as a whole. It really just destroys public opinion of trans people. And I don't know enough about Jessica or even the situation at hand. I'm not trans, so I'm not going to say whether or not Jessica Yaniv is actually trans, or if I'm on Blaire's side and think she's just using it as a way to be able to be a predator and get a pass for it. I'm not going to really comment on that specifically because I really don't know anything about that. But that aside, that there is clear predatory behaviours going on here, and they are very concerning. If they are true, that is. But I do think it's... I don't know how you can defend the topless swimming event. Like, how can you defend that? There is no defense, if you ask me. But hey, these are just my thoughts. If you have a different opinion, if you disagree with me, then let me know in those comments down below. Why do you think that the topless party for kids is okay? Let me know. And until next time, my name is Rag Reynolds. This is Medium Rare, and you're welcome, society.